Hello friends, my name is Ilya Sukhov and I represent IPTP Networks team. First of all, I would like to say thanks for Alexei for previous talk. It was really interesting and a lot of interesting information which is really very useful. Also, I would like to say a few words about our company. IPTP Networks is, first of all, a system integrator, which has a unique infrastructure. And our set of server and network equipment allows us to provide best-class service of dedicated hardware hosting and colocation hosting worldwide. IPTP Networks operates as international carrier as well as operator and have its own MPLS backbone. And these these key features allows us to deliver distributed mitigation managed service against DDoS or DMMS. In this brief presentation, we'll compare two ways of DDoS mitigation. We will talk about one particular kind of DDoS attack. From previous talk, you maybe noticed that one of the hardest attack, the case when mostly you cannot do anything, it is volumetric DDoS attack. This attack targeted to bandwidth of end service or even to bandwidth of service provider. And basically two ways exist to protect or actually to mitigate these attacks. The first one is well known, classic way. It is cleaning center or clean pipe solutions. The second is, which we present, DMMS by IPTP Networks. And today we'll have some comparison of these ways. This comparison will be based on 4 key aspects: latency, reaction time, bandwidth, and expenses. One can see from this chart that volume of DDoS attacks constantly grows over the time, over the years. For example, a year ago it was about 500 Gbps, and in January we know sites of Donald Trump and BBC fall under attack of about 602 Gbps, as was reported by group which created this attack. And what kind of bad things it brings? The most negative effects of this attack is, of course, loss in revenue. And according to Canadian Ponemon Institute, average total loss in commercial sector, we are talking about commercial sector, can be up to $21,500 every minute of DDoS. So, what is volumetric DDoS? I'll repeat, we are talking about DDoS targeted to bandwidth. Volumetric distributed denial of service is a special type of attack when targeted server and its bandwidth is overloaded by traffic generated with multiple sources. These multiple sources are located across the world, across the whole world, across the internet. And this is a classic solution for mitigation of such kind of attacks. It is cleaning center. What can we see here? We are just doing our regular job, our mission. We are forwarding packets from end users to target server. But in case of cleaning center, we first need to forward traffic from end users and some malicious hosts to cleaning center. This usually can be done with the help of DNS. After some cleaning at cleaning center, the traffic then forwards back through the internet to clean pipe. It is special kind of tunnel which has to be established in advance between targeted server and cleaning center. And this is a brief scheme of DMMS solution. The basic difference is targeted server is located inside DMMS cloud, inside DMMS infrastructure, and it is guarded by several firewalls which are fine-tuned, and preliminary filtering can be deployed in the border of the network to filter large amounts of traffic, and more deep filtering can be done inside the cloud, nearly in the nearest of the server, targeted server. This is distributed system for which can handle volumetric DDoS. And let's move on to comparison of key factors, and the first one is latency. We are talking about the latency between end user and target servers. And one can see that in case of cleaning center, the latency will be increased significantly. First of all, because you need forward traffic from end user to cleaning center. And this route might not be so optimal as from end user to targeted server directly. This is the first part. Then you need to forward traffic back through internet to targeted server. And again back to cleaning center and website visitor. So you can forward directly from targeted server website to visitor. But in this case, you can show your actual IP address in the internet. And then attackers will know it. So not very best solution. And in some cases, you may want to clean this. You want to decrease latency and, for example, implement mitigation only after start. But this will provide some additional issues. We'll talk about them just a bit later. Let's compare with IPTP DMMS solution. Unlike cleaning center, IPTP DMMS doesn't require any additional latency to be added to the path, because actually the path is already optimal. IPTP has geographically distributed set of firewalls which are working in conjunction with backbone routers and are located at the border of network. So this distributed system can handle really volumetric DDoS, large-scale attacks. Moving on to the next aspect is reaction time. And in previous aspect, in previous key point, we talked about some particular case when you want to decrease the latency, for example, and start mitigation only after start of attack. And let's think what we can do here. First, we will need to discover attack, to detect it. Then we need to change DNS record, and this will require some human reaction. After that, we will need to wait propagation of DNS record. Then, well, when traffic already will be forwarded to cleaning center, some analysis, and then only start of mitigation. And from experience, this reaction time from start of attack to start of mitigation can take up to 1 hour. In DMMS solution, you do not need to do these actions, all these actions. This solution is some kind of proactive system which start its work from almost from 0 second. Why? Because firewalls are already installed across the board of the network, and they start mitigation once the attack is started. And the next point is bandwidth. What we wanted to bring with this point is cleaning center is actually one point. It's not distributed as a set of firewalls in classic solution. And this is some kind of bottleneck. This can create large bursts of traffic, and cleaning centers has to establish big capacities with ISP. And this will create large bursts. Large amount of traffic will require large capacity. In IPTP networks, we have distributed system of firewalls, and actual capacity will be almost equal to capacity of the whole network, of the whole infrastructure. And in IPTP networks, customers can enjoy about 30 terabits of capacity. And this distribution system among multiple points in our network. This is combined very large volume of traffic on the whole network, but large volume of traffic will not be combined at single node, at single concentration. And the last but not the least point is expenses. And what we wanted to say here is that in case of cleaning center, non-distributed system, large amount of burst can provide large amount of bill from ISP to cleaning center provider, to mitigation provider, and this cost will be part of DDoS mitigation cost. As I already said, in IPTP DMMS distributed system, we just will not have such big amount of burst, because we unlikely will have large concentration of traffic in one single node, in one single link, and there will not be one big burst. And actually, this brings to the conclusion of this presentation. Distributed mitigation managed service against DDoS by IPTP networks can provide less reaction time as compared with classic solution. It doesn't require any extra latency to be added in the path. Path is already optimal, and it is optimal even during DDoS mitigation. Bandwidth limits are higher, of course, because of distributed system. And no extra charges will be billed thus. Thus, this system can mitigate really volumetric DDoS, which is targeted to the bandwidth. So thank you for listening. If you have any question, we would like to answer them. Once again, please. Yes, of course, BGP unicast is used. Well, I think this is all we wanted to say. Thank you.
Здравствуйте, зовут Хохлов Глеб. Вопрос по поводу все-таки вашего чудо-фаервола, который все время работает. Вы можете более подробно рассказать про ваше антиддос решение? Как вы защищаете?
Ну, фаервол — это комплексное решение на базе Cisco и железных серверов. Там уже имеются свои наработки. Тут уже детали я не могу раскрывать.
То есть у вас на каждом узле, вот как на карте нарисовали, стоят так по куче ЦИСа, которые вместе с вашим софтом защищают от DDoS. Так получается?
Тут дело не столько в софте, сколько в большом количестве железных серверов, которые имеются в распоряжении IPTP. IPTP — это в первую очередь аппаратный провайдер, и серверов действительно много. И они по всему миру расположены, очень много точек. Циски они просто предоставляют как бы основу сети, потому что IPTP — это магистральный провайдер, параллельно.
И, соответственно, вы это продаете как услугу IP-транзит защищенный, либо только для тех, кто хостится на вашей сети?
Эта услуга, она кастомная, она обсуждается непосредственно с клиентом. То есть там это, как правило, такие серьезные проекты.